I'm Carol DWECK. I'm professor of psychology at Stanford University. And for 45 years, I've been studying students' motivation. How can we help students to fulfill their potential, enjoy learning, learn the skills they need and want to reach their goals in the future? Let me define two mindsets, a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset is the belief that intellectual skills are fixed. You have a certain amount, that's it. You can't do anything to change it. Some people have more, some people have less. This is a very popular belief in many cultures. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities can be developed, not just through your own hard work, but learning all kinds of new strategies and having lots of support, input, and help from others. Alfred Binet, the man who was the co-inventor of the IQ test, had a radical growth mindset. He believed the most fundamental capacities to learn could be developed through education. Now, the first 20 years or so of studying the mindsets, in those first 20 years, we wanted to spell out the implications of each one. And what we found in our research was that when students held a fixed mindset, they were always worried about making mistakes and looking like they weren't smart. They were afraid of challenges. Maybe I won't look smart, I'll be judged. They were afraid of exerting effort. If you had to exert effort, maybe you weren't smart or people wouldn't think you're smart. They were afraid of setbacks or failures because those could be seen as signs that they were not smart. But in a growth mindset, we found that students could focus more on learning. Challenges could be a vehicle for learning. Effort with strategies and help from others, part of the learning process. And even setbacks, not always pleasant, but still part of the learning process. After we studied this for a long time, then we and other researchers asked, if you offered students a growth mindset, if you taught them this new way of seeing things, if you gave them this choice to see things a different way, would they benefit from it? And the research has suggested yes, but it's not about just giving kids a growth mindset and then putting the responsibility on them to learn and thrive. No, we have more and more begun to focus on the environment students are in, the responsibility of the environment to create an inclusive, meaningful curriculum that will inspire their learning and support their learning. Many practitioners have just told kids, try hard. No, that's not what a growth mindset is about. It's about creating the inclusive, supportive, respectful, collaborative environment where the teacher and student cooperate in the learning process. Now, a growth mindset does seem to foster student agency in the sense that it encourages them to initiate learning, to take on challenges, to try new strategies in the face of obstacles, and also seek appropriate help. That's part of agency. Agency doesn't mean you're this isolated, autonomous being that does everything for itself. Seeking help is part of agency. But agency shouldn't, again, imply it's up to the student to exert agency and the responsibility is on them. It is, again, the responsibility of the learning environment to support and collaborate on the learning and make it safe for students to exercise agency, make them not afraid of making mistakes or being judged. Have the value be on supported learning. We have always taken well-being seriously, and we don't really see it as something that's separate from learning. A growth mindset supports well-being, but that is part of the motivation to learn. It's part of an environment that supports the motivation for meaningful learning. And I think your initiative is very exciting. We're not trying to just get kids to have learning habits and learn at all costs. We want them to do it in a context of well-being and in a context in which they value and enjoy the learning and feel that it serves their goals. Another thing I was excited about at your OECD Compass 2030 was the questioning of curricula and the thinking through of new curricula. We have to ask, do our current curricula embody the kinds of skills that students will need in the future? Ill-defined problems that you work through, often in a collaborative way, brainstorming and solving. This is what I thrive on, kind of hard tasks, ill-defined, kind of finding your way. So we don't know what the jobs of the future are. We sort of know some of the skills that might help current students take their place among these jobs. But I agree with what you're implying. We have to have an educational system that embodies what the future world is like, anticipates what it's like, and gives the experiences. So a fixed mindset is what is not needed for a student to say, I'm afraid of challenges, I'm afraid of mistakes, I'm afraid of trying hard and not looking smart. Setbacks mean I'm not good at this. This is not what leads people to take on those ill-defined challenges and figure a way through them. Whereas the idea that abilities are developed through supportive instruction that leads you to relish challenges, work hard, but know how to approach something from different angles, try new strategies, collaborate and or get input when necessary. See the setbacks as necessary, even useful, even intriguing and informative. These are all things that we need students to embrace as they go forth into the future. Along with, as we've said, a curriculum that feels meaningful to them, that in fact simulates the kinds of challenges they have to meet later on.